Welcome in and welcome back, everyone, for another session with the Second Chances. Before we begin, as always, we need to start with our thank yous and our gratitudes, which go out firstly to Critical Role. We're playing in their world of Exandria, and it has been a fun time and gives me a much-needed break from creating lore and worlds and locations so I can just focus on the things that I'm good at, which isn't that stuff usually. As well as to all of the artists whose music we use, which includes Critical Role, Reliquary Records, Hunter Rogertson, and Borislav Slavov. And I got some new songs we're going to be using that also come from Critical Role and Colm McGinnis from their Candela Obscura soundtrack. So see if you can spot those. They're really good, and most of them are super creepy stuff. So...
outfitting for Xhorhas.
Last time we left the Second Chances, our heroes, they had a meeting with Bertrand Dwendal, the king of the Empire, the Dwendalian Empire. And the meeting seemed to sort of be, I suppose, in a way, a job interview sounds a bit informal, but the conversation was definitely him kind of testing your competence or your confidence in yourself, given all that you've been through so far, and how far you've came as heroes, as adventurers. Turns out they knew a lot more about you than perhaps you would have liked them or expected them to. You learned a little bit more about some other characters around you. You found out that the former Archmage of Antiquity, Elena Burnwhite, had succumbed to whatever condition was afflicting her. And upon learning that, Xenitol, aka Mr. Black, positioned himself to become the new Archmage of Antiquity. As you were talking with all the individuals here, learning more about perhaps how they could help you on your quest, it was revealed that a portal had opened in Xhorhas, has been there for some amount of time, and does not match the description of the portals that you have seen up until this point. So with all due haste, Xenitol offered to teleport you to Xhorhas and was warned that due to the magnitude of this portal and the way that it interferes with magic and the arcane, it could be a dangerous proposition. One teleport failed. One teleport landed you in the middle of the Lucidian Ocean. Another one dealt a bit of damage to everybody. And then the fourth and final, the last one that he had, dropped you in Xhorhas, where you were meant to be, but also right in the middle of an Udok massacring some small force of Xhorhasian soldiers. As you all set to work on it, Raz took one real good punch, rodeo style, and then before we could get too far into the battle, Corey was able to banish it permanently back to the abyss. A few gloom stalkers tried to harry you, but you made pretty short work of them. And that's where we're going to pick up. In the middle of Xhorhas, following that fight... What music do I want for this?
Clever use of feather tokens. People survived.
Yeah. I don't think you were too high up. I don't think anybody would have died from their
Oh,
falls.
but I mean, I know I was at 40 feet.
Yeah, that's only 4d6.
I mean, I'd already gotten a good chunk of my damage done because of something.
Oz walks over to the group. Clearly her bell rung a little bit, but she looks at you all. That was a walking around demon.
Well, I didn't know we had them on this planet, but here we go. Xhorhas, where everything bad is.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll tell you what. This looks kind of like home. The most at home I've felt since I've been here.
Xenitol speaks up. Xhorhas was the seat of power for the betrayer gods throughout the calamity. It has not quite recovered, even centuries later.
Roz nods. Yeah, I know how that is.
Well, we made it. Now, where's this? Now, where is it that we're supposed to be going? I guess I scanned the horizon for.
Yeah,
Yep.
I imagine the portal's probably visible, or at
Yeah.
least in the
Yeah,
effects of it are.
you can see in the sort of northeastern region. It is nighttime here, despite you having left the Empire, which might be an hour or two behind you. But when you had left, it was still around noonish. Sometime before noon at least. It's night here, and you can see off to the northeast in the way that when a sun rises, you kind of have like the red glow beginning to come up. You can kind of see a blue, almost aurora-like effect to the northeast. Xanatal kind of looks around a little bit as well. You see him kind of pick up some of the dirt in the ground and kind of runs it through his fingers, letting it drop. I estimate, based on the direction of the glow to the northeast and the composition of the soil here, I would assume that we are east of the Sorrow Seep waters, north of the Seepfeed River. So it should be about a day if we keep north. We will arrive at the Emerald Loop. East from there will get us to the Barbed Fields, which is where this portal is said to be in the midst of the Civil War. We could cut through the Vermalock Wildwood, but it's not anything that I would suggest.
All right.
A day's walk of journey, then.
North to the Emerald Loop it is.
Would we had some horses, but going on foot.
Roz summons her steed.
I guess I could ride Luster, but
just has to
seems long.
walk the same
Fair.
speed as everyone anyway. But you can at least go ahead, potentially go ahead and
Yeah.
come back and report things.
Well, I can help with that because I got scouting.
She summons a big old Fluffe direwolf.
I'll bring out Owl Leo.
Okay.
Why?
Who?
Because he can
God.
fly around.
Put that
Who?
away!
I like how it says who.
Who?
I like that a lot.
It sounds like
Leo.
when
Yeah.
it talks as well.
Yeah.
Who?
I love that.
Hate
It's
it.
so good. I love it so much. Oh, it's so Uncanny Valley. I'll have to see it. Yeah, I can write Luster to help with scouting help. Help with scouting duties, that's what I meant to say.
Quick question.
Yes.
Are you sure? That's all?
Sure of what?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like we just got teleported all over across the world, and now you seem to know where we're going.
The effects of the portal can cause disruptions in the arcane. Teleport is already sometimes a chaotic spell to cast when you aren't as familiar with where you are going. Yes, I'm sure. Do you have some alternate opinion that you would like to suggest?
No, I mean, clearly, this is your whole thing, right? It's all according to your mastermind plan, right?
What plan is that?
I wouldn't know. You don't include us in those, so.
Well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Leo, I would say you could fit 4 people on the carpet. Yeah, with people in your group, 4 people on the carpet's fine.
How many do we have? We have 8.
That isn't riding something already.
Yeah, because
6.
Roz and I are writing something. I I don't want Zealous to spend a wild shape to turn into anything right now, but I guess technically, but otherwise.
Yeah, I think you have 6 people who aren't on anything.
I don't know if I can have 2 on mine or 2 on Roz's, but if that helps.
You could. If you
Okay.
wanted to potentially get everybody on some sort of moving thing, it would help. I would say that like, Luster and the summoned steed wouldn't be able to go at like a full speed, but it would definitely help. It would also potentially make things safer because you'd be able to, since you're covering more ground, potentially outrun things or just not be in a position or a place long enough for something that may see you as prey to act upon it.
Okay.
And Roz will pull Hermia up onto her steed.
Yay.
I look at Zealous and Zana. Okay, who wants to be carried? Or who wants to fly and then carry?
Oh, I mean, I can also take Zana, but for somebody.
You don't want to get on the carpet with the old people?
I mean,
Zana says, I think maybe Corey should ride with you, Maeve. I will take the carpet with Zealous and Zenithal.
Have
There you go.
complicated emotions right now.
Despite being on 3 separate types of mounts, you can still feel free to ask questions or do any sort of discussions if you would like to. So if you had any questions you wanted to ask now, Corey, you could, or if you want to wait to collect those for now, you will probably have to end up resting before you get to your destination. So,
Can Roz think to Maeve?
Of
Or like, would
course.
we be like close enough for that? Okay.
yeah, absolutely. I forget what your telepathy is, but I think it's longer than what a message is, and you're definitely within range.
Yeah.
I think it's 100 feet.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yeah.
Yeah, it's 100 feet.
So you hear in your head, Maeve, Roz's voice speak up. Hey, so like, this isn't any of my business, and you're not like someone who needs to be like protected or shielded or anything like that. So I recognize that before I say this, but also I'm your friend, and I feel like I wouldn't be being a very good friend if I didn't say this.
Well, it's okay. Speak your mind.
As long as I've known you, you have been someone who has valued openness and honesty above anything. And neither of your partners are respecting that, and you deserve better. And I just want you to know that I see that.
She's quiet for a long moment, almost as if you're not really sure if she's gonna respond again.
Yeah.
But eventually, you hear your honesty is appreciated. If I can be honest, I'm not sure what to do about it yet.
Yeah.
I still stand by what I told the hag and everything. But it's frustrating to learn that even if I don't know if the hag knew this about my situation, but to have one partner who has been keeping something for a while, a sister who truly does need a hag's magic to talk to me, and well, I remains to be seen for the other.
You're being failed by a lot of people in your life, and it's fucked up. I'm sorry.
Thank you, but it's okay.
It's not, actually.
Well, I think at the moment, well, we've got a lot of big things happening, and I'm not going to make any decisions until I give people a chance to explain.
Yeah. Well, I'm on your side, so hang tough.
Yeah, you too. I know this situation is not ideal for a lot of circumstances. She pauses again, and then goes, "What are your thoughts on Xanatol?"
I think he's getting as much or more out of us as we're getting out of him. And every instinct in my body, my heart tells me that we shouldn't be helping him in any way. My world is full of people like him who look around and make decisions thinking that the ends will justify the means. And my world, she looks around, looks a lot like this.
Worry that doing anything right now will make things more dangerous for us in such an unknown situation. But perhaps when we know what's going on and if we get out of this alive, we should reconsider some things.
I think we should talk about it sooner than that. When we make camp, we should all talk about it.
Okay.
It's a conversation I should have brought up with us back in the Feywild, and instead I only talked to Zana about it, and that was a mistake.
Did I know about this conversation?
I don't think so.
I forget exactly where you were when you asked her.
I know I wasn't involved in it. I just didn't know if I heard about it. I don't think I heard about it.
No, I don't think so. It was in the Feywild before we left.
What conversation?
I feel
I
like.
asked her
Are you
if-
sure you weren't in the? You didn't come in and ask it while Maeve was there?
I don't remember this because
No,
I would
'cause
have.
it was in our heads.
Because I would have
Oh,
had
fair
a.
enough then.
I would have added to it, and I
Mhm.
don't
Yeah.
remember
Alright.
giving my
Yep.
piece on it.
Fair enough.
I asked her if she trusted Xanatol. Because I didn't. And I worry that we are handing him a weapon that has no defense or recourse against it. And there in the king's chambers, we saw that he's already made a spell that allows him to open a portal. And right now he needs help to do it. But how long till he has replicated one of our tattoos or improved on it? How long till he doesn't need it?
What did she tell you?
Said that she trusted him and that she could curb his worst tendencies and that we needed him. And she implied that I was a child.
I fear she's attempting to play a long con game with him that I do not know if she will survive. If you want my honest thoughts on the situation.
I always do.
He knows about our relationship. I don't know if he really approves. And I know that he wants us to trust her.
I did trust her. I don't know if I do right now.
I am biased.
Yes. of
I
course.
believe I have reasons to still trust her, but Sana can sometimes, I worry that she thinks she has it all figured out with people. And I worry that she thinks she's got Xanatal figured out. And I don't think he's a guy that can just be figured out.
No one is beyond hubris.
No. But sure, let's see if we can have a talk tonight. It might be a little difficult since we can't really... I don't know how easily we can all talk without him hearing us, but if there's an idea I'm not thinking about that you have about that.
I don't see any reason for him to not hear us. Maybe he'll have something to offer in his defense.
I see.
I'm not interested in talking behind his back. I'll tell him what I think of him to his face. And
Very
we'll
well.
go from there.
Very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, mostly in silence, you all begin your journey northward, taking in the lands of Xhorhas and realizing that the Udok was not an outlier in this fierce landscape of this scarred realm. With the Ashkeeper Peaks to your west and the Penumbra Range underlining the horizon to the east, this valley is a secluded place from the rest of Wildmount in more ways than one, bearing the lingering scars of the culminating battles of the Calamity.
Roz plays yellow car with everyone, but instead of yellow car, it's walking around demon.
There's a few.
Yeah, every time she points it, she reminds you she gets 1 point every time she sees one.
Whatever this land once was or could have been, for those who live here now, it is a fierce and dangerous wasteland of broken ground, muddy paths that weave and come to abrupt ends before muggy swamps and corrupted forests. Rosalind, you may have joked about this feeling like home, but in Vano, you had walls that kept out the monsters. The city on a shelf sat high in the mountains, giving it a natural protection against most of the darkness of the wilds. But here in Xhorhas, it's home to both the people and the twisted creatures left behind, like echoes of the Betrayer God's influence, as they had once ruled this region. You travel for hours, on your guard, weapons at the ready, waiting. And as you see denizens of this place, bristled, large, feline-like predators known as moorbounders, you see more flocks of gloomstalkers, but even they seem to understand that something is changing within Xhorhas. Of the creatures you see, you notice two things. The first is that all manner of them in this first leg of your track, they seem to be waiting. They're perched on rocks or craggy hills. You see them huddled into packs, jaws gnashing at one another. You've never seen predators behave in mass like this. But Maeve, you know the sight of a hunter waiting for its next meal when you see one. The second thing, maybe an hour or so after noticing this, is that all other creatures that you spot are heading in one direction. They're coming from one way. They're going the opposite direction that you are. Leaving the way you came, as if they sense or know something is coming. Predators and scavengers like these, a battlefield would otherwise be a buffet of prime pickings. Anyone who would like to make a survival or a nature check for me?
I can help with survival. Oh, I'm inspoing that. That's a little better. Let me get rid of my...
For anyone who got above a 15, as you kind of think about how odd that is, the conclusion you come to is that the only time that predators or scavengers would flee from a place is when they know that they are no longer the top of the food chain.
Something big has upset the ecosystem here.
Oh, joy.
Hopefully it's not a god.
Roz visibly, like, flinches at that.
Well, guess we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
After traveling for 6-7 hours, you do get a bit further than what Zenithal expected that you would, thanks to the mounts and the carpets, and mentions that it should only be a few hours more in the morning, but it would be prudent, even with the little bit that you exerted from yourselves, to take the long rest, as it's difficult to know what to expect once you get closer, not just from the portal, but potentially how either side of the Xhorhasian forces, whoever it is that you happen to stumble across, may treat you. You're obviously, well, perhaps not of the Empire yourselves. You're also clearly not of the Dynasty either.
Roz will call for us to make camp then, find a kind of secure spot, and prepare camp.
I will help with making camp.
If you would prefer, thanks to your carpet ride, I was able to swap around a spell and can provide more suitable lodgings for the night.
Is it gonna like entomb us? Stone? Because I know what you mages are like.
No, it is a pocket dimension of a smaller version of my home. It will have rooms for everyone.
Very well. Then perhaps before we go in, we should have this conversation. Zenithal, I don't know what your aim is in all of this, but I struggle to believe that you are in it for the good of all mankind.
The fate of all creation being erased and restarted, and you struggle to believe why someone who helps to keep the Empire safe would want to stop that from happening.
Not necessarily, but I struggle to believe that you aren't also positioning yourself to profit off it in the future.
And would you not also? As heroes, will you not see some sort of benefit from saving the world? Of course. I have knowledge, thanks to you, that otherwise would not have been discovered. Of course I will see benefits and profit from it. But when we ask people to make strives, to make discoveries, to risk their lives, to go above and beyond to protect others, do we expect them to not take any sort of payment or benefit from that?
We're not talking about a medal or a manor. We're talking about something dangerous that you've already turned into a spell.
Based on what you've told me, and what I know, and we can see it already in effect, and he motions to the blue aurora. With every passing day, as more change spreads across Exandria, these portals spread. Their frequency also seems to be increasing. At what point does it stop? At what point are multiple portals opening at once? With the knowledge that I have, we'll be able to teach others how to close them. We may be able to predict where they're going to open before they open so that you can be there preemptively.
So your intention then is to share this with the other nations of the world. The information that you research will go to Iman, to the Kryn dynasty, to Marquette.
With the king and with your help, we will reach out to allies to create a council to determine that sort of thing. Is your worry that I would hoard all of this knowledge specifically to myself? To what benefit does that serve Exandria?
Exandria? Little. To you, quite a bit.
It would make me a target, is what it would do. And the less people that know about it or can wield it puts the world and my life at risk. Do I think that we should send this knowledge off to everyone? No, as you said, it is potentially very dangerous. But just the 7 of you, adding myself in there does not increase Exandria's chance of survival all that much more.
In the back of Zana's head, she hears, "You haven't told him that we can create other second chances, have you?"
Wait, we can? Sorry.
Yeah, supposedly.
It was something that the Oracle, I believe, said was a possibility.
But
Yeah,
not
we
something
were never
should
shown
do.
that we can do it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we should not take that decision lightly, but it was something we were told we could do. She did. I don't recall her really advising for it, but it was
Right.
something we
I
could
think
do.
I think one of you had kind of asked if it was a possibility,
Yeah.
and she essentially kind of answered with, "If you think that someone is worthy of it, perhaps."
Then go ahead.
Mhm.
Any reply to that?
She replies to you. I haven't, and I don't know that that would help us in the same way as turning this into practical magic that can be taught.
That might be true, but it's kind of strange that you wouldn't tell him that.
She doesn't reply.
I just
looks-
kind of give her a knowing nod.
She looks at the rest of you. Do you all trust him to be the Archmage of Antiques or whatever it is?
Antiquity.
Yes, like that is what matters about the conversation. Elena Burnwhite dies of a feeble mind spell, which I don't recall being lethal. And here he is to take the position with our word. It's very convenient for you.
It is.
Senator, you mentioned that, of course, we would be taking advantage or glories or what have you from this situation. What is it that you are hoping to find if this all ends well and we don't die?
My goal and my aim has always been to serve the people of the Empire. Now, I understand, given the title that I hold and the reputation that many of my colleagues and those who came before me have held, and given the predisposition of most people not to trust magic, I understand where the reputation comes from. But it's not my job to cater to what people think of me. It is my job to protect those within my country. And that's what I aim to do.
Does that make it easier to order people dead?
No. But every moment that I spend lamenting it is time and energy that could have been better spent solving some other problem.
Sometimes it is better to feel the weight and see the blood on your hands.
Oh, I feel it.
We were asked by the king to possibly recommend you. What would you do if we didn't?
Nothing. What would I? There's no way to convince you. Your thoughts, your opinions are your own. But I would think that what I've accomplished thus far and what I can bring to the effort would hopefully have a bit more weight to it.
We didn't ask you to have Zana kill Elena, though.
Wait.
Roz looks over.
Yeah, what?
Sorry, yeah, what was that you said?
Leo's been putting a couple together because didn't Zana go on a trip a while back?
She did.
Oh.
You think she's the one who killed Elena?
Yes.
So sorry, what was the exact words that you just said out loud as Leo, though?
Oh, as Leo, so you felt it was right for Zana to kill Elena?
Zana speaks up. I did no such thing. I had no hand in what happened to Elena. And I don't know that it was a feeble mind spell that ended her. I had no interaction, nor did I know her location or how she was being treated. In situations like that, given the nature and politics and power structure of the Cerberus Assembly, the only other person who would have had the information necessary for something like that would have been the head of our organization, Ludinus, whom you met in the chamber as well. So if you want further details of what happened to her and what she succumbed to following the attack and her injuries sustained at the hands of the Plague of Eyes, you'll have to discuss it with him.
Zana, what was your last mark?
Mark?
Mark.
What you mean?
Last person she
First person
killed.
she killed.
Yep.
Oop, give me 1 second. Maeve.
Yeah.
Had you shared with anyone what you saw in that dream when she had went back to Rexentrim and was away from everyone?
Did I share that? That's a great question. Weirdly enough, I may have shared it with Leo, but I
Okay.
don't remember. I apologize. If
I
anyone
think
remembers,
we talked about it.
I
at
thought
some
we
point,
did.
because we were going to Guarden after that, right? And you wanted advice about your father as well during that conversation, I believe.
No, it was
That's-
after Guarden because it was in the downtime following
It was right after
Leaf's
Leaf's mom
hut.
died.
Yep, correct.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
I'm so sorry. If anyone remembers me telling them, I believe you. I just don't remember.
Yep. No
If I
problem.
did.
Yeah, so I just gotta
I
try
apologize.
and go back really quick and find that.
we just got to pull up all these receipts.
Yeah, I have 278
For some reason, I thought-
pages of notes.
I guess for some reason I thought the mark that Leo's talking about, I thought there was another person. Because
I
are
just
you
want the truthful, like who she killed last, basically, just to kind her, like, see if she'll tell us the truth,
That's fair.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Okay, I just generally thought there was another person after that, or not. I don't know if there's another person, but she had disappeared for a night.
Yeah, I feel like it
Yeah.
was like because it was when you went back with her to see Zenithal.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of when she was gone, but she put the party for us together. Never mind. That's what
Fair
I got.
enough.
That's what I was thinking of. Never mind.
I mean, she could have done it then too, but
Yeah.
she's a busy woman.
But yeah, okay, you're talking about the Rex and Trump.
Yeah, so I can't seem to find exactly where that dream was. I don't think that I had improv'd that on the spot. But
I all I remember is I had a chance of, I think, making her not do it, but she did it. It was a role you had me do.
Right, you as in Sarah, not
Yes.
Maeve.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have been clear. I assumed the other result was she wouldn't have done it. I actually don't know that. But.
Yeah. She tells you that the last job she had was when everyone was resting in Air's recollection. And she gives you a name, which I don't have now, but I will give you later.
No worries.
And essentially gives you the equivalent of that isn't a side of me, or that's a side of me that I have had to carefully separate from Zana the Second Chance. And further details on it, quite frankly, aren't any of your business. So remind
Is this
me.
a job for Xhorhas?
Zenhill says it was a contract that went through me. Yes.
Well, as long as we're all above board and you didn't kill Elena that way, I would like to know how she died. So I would like, once you get back to Rexentrum, a full report, if I can.
I will do what I can to contact Ludinus, but it will be at his discretion whether or not he shares that with you.
I'm sorry for accusing you, Zana. It's just trying to put pieces together.
I think my issue with this, all of this, and you, Xanatal, is that we have already been traipsing across the continent with little to no information, where we have to figure it out and we have to suffer the consequences. And yes, you played a hand in it, sure, but now that we're here, this is not a partnership. This is not an alliance that we have here. I can't trust anything that you say. And while we may not know the details of how you've treated Zana and whoever else and stupid Cerberus Assembly, it gives us no reason to trust you. But we have to, because we have no one else to turn to. So I think, at least for me, to make this go a little smoother, a little better, I want us to be on equal footing. So whatever decisions that you make, you run it by us. We do it with you. I don't think that's a lot to ask for.
So what exactly is it you want to be there for all of the research that I do into the cosmic magic then? Did you reply to that?
It says, yes, because you say all these things, but yeah, sorry, your reputation does precede you, as does the assemblies. So for us to trust that you won't sell this information, use it to your own gain, yeah.
Very well. So it doesn't seem like Corey will be doing much of the globe trotting with you then anymore. I don't just have some book with all of the answers in it that I'm keeping from you. I have spent countless hours poring over the information, the data, the magic that's came back from those small gems that I gave you to put into the portals. More time awake than sleeping, skipping meals, trying to figure this out. If you have questions and would like to know more, then by all means ask them, and I will impart upon you what wisdom I can, given the knowledge and understanding that you have of magic. But don't act like I've not given you more than you've given me, or vice versa. You've helped me, I've helped you. Are you out there risking your lives? Of course, you were chosen, and you'd be doing it whether I was helping you or not. I've given you information. I've given you something that can weaken the portals to make them easier to close. Last I knew, I don't know that you've used that yet or not, but once I have more data on whether it worked, I can make something stronger or more potent. The bracelets that you have now allow you to tap into and utilize the power in a fashion beyond just closing what's already been opened to enhance and augment yourself. What thing have I done that has cost you? I realize my reputation is a scary one. What have I done besides aid you? You saw a scary dream, a memory, when young Zana was being taught a hard lesson from years ago. Am I proud of every decision that I've made or everything that I've put her through? Of course not.
But you are proud of it.
Of the woman she's become? Yes. Of everything she's had to go through to become? No.
But the ends justify the means.
It's not for me to decide.
But you did decide it, actually.
You
Do you
continue
think
to.
that I keep her here against her will?
No. But I think you have... It doesn't matter.
It does to you. You are potentially talking about, if you had your way, you would strip me of this. You would strip me of all that I have because you don't trust me, and go about your way, just the six of you. We don't need him because we don't want to win that way, and that's fine. That will help you sleep better at night. But when a portal's left open longer than it should, and people suffer, how will that help you?
Xanatal, I'm just gonna say something that you and I fundamentally disagree on. Sometimes doing things the right way matters for something.
For some people,
Sometimes
it does.
it counts.
I agree.
That's what I mean. We fundamentally disagree on that.
Indeed.
She takes her bracelet off and tosses it to him. I don't want your help.
Well, it's here when you do. And he will cast Mordecai and Min's Mansion, and anyone who would like to use it may. He enters.
I want to think to Raz for a moment. I am worried that this problem we're dealing with is not just one bad branch, but a rotten tree. I am worried that no matter what is done with him here, the issues we have with him are bigger than him.
Yep.
I'm not saying I know what to do. I just...
Ave, you're all from here, from this world. So maybe this is me talking like an outsider who just doesn't understand. But any empire or nation that rules, legislates whom you're allowed to believe in and whom you're allowed to worship is not worth trusting.
I don't trust this place. I'm not from here either. I'm not. Yes, I'm from this world, but
And you understand.
I know. But what I'm trying to say is, I think I'm not saying. I'm not trying to say that like I want to trust him. My worry is that if we're able to find someone better in his position, I don't think they will be better.
When we get done here, I'm going to tell Dore. I want to talk to Vixalia. At least she knows what it is to go through this. I would trust her more than I trust anyone I've talked to on this continent.
That's fair. She nods. Maeve she's not going to make a show of this to really anybody. I mean, if someone wants to perceive this, that's fine. But she's not going to make a show of it. She is also going to take off the bracelet. She's going to pocket it instead. She doesn't really want to make a show about it.
Yep, but you just choose not to wear it.
Yeah.
Roz starts setting up her camp outside.
Corey chucks the bracelet at the door.
All right, it lands inside.
And then Corey takes out their deck box and goes, "Party with Corey? Anyone? I need a drink."
Will you still go in your deck box?
I can now because, yeah, Gil just left and, yeah, so, fuck it.
Corey, you're a homeowner.
I guess I am. Yep, the homeowner of parent who left me. And then Corey just disappears into the box.
Wait, come back! I wanted to go.
Oh shit, that's right. It doesn't work if I'm not there. Comes back out.
I can come in.
Yeah, whoever wants, just hold my hand.
Okay, I'll hold your hand.
I'll stand guard.
Okay.
What are you?
Is it just like blank space inside?
She hasn't been in since Gil left, so who knows?
There's just a sappy note on the ground.
Zealous, you've been quiet. What's happening during all of this for Zealous?
Zealous is kind of conflicted, but ends up taking his wristband off and just drops it on the ground next to the mansion and follows Corey and goes into the Corey's deck box along with her. Him, her, she.
Sure.
They works too.
Yep, she, they.
She, they.
Leo? As everyone seems to be choosing where or what they're doing for the night.
My gaze really hasn't left Zana, so what is she doing?
She is standing motionless, sort of statuesque. She looks stiff and rigid, her eyes just sort of down towards the ground right now. She is in changeling form here.
I would have gone to her side at one point, but Leo, you go first.
Yeah,
This
I'll
is
just
sort of
walk up.
happening, like, this is still, like, seconds following
Yeah.
all of this that's happened, so...
I'll walk up to her, and I'm not even gonna do this in the head. It's like, you don't have to choose. But what I would suggest is follow your heart. And I'll put my hand on her shoulder and give her a reassuring look. I'm going in the card box. And I'll pull off my band and hand it to her.
Maeve, did you want to do something?
Once Leo's gone, she'll just approach her because I think besides Roz out here with the tent, just the two of them at this point.
Mm-hmm. And Corey,
and
we'll say that people can freely go in and out of your card box without
just
you.
for sake of ease for this conversation.
So long as it's kind of the same as like, you know, spells of like the nature where you can choose who comes in and out. You don't have to do it on like a case by case basis. It's sort of like in an intuition of like, if you would allow them in, they're able to go in, and it's something that you can rescind at any point.
We all got card box VIP passes.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah.
But she'll just approach Zana and she'll kind of glance around. Where do you want to go for the night?
I don't know what you all think of me. That every time he comes up, or my relationship to him comes up in some way, that I can't think for myself, that I can't act for myself, that I haven't made decisions for myself. My relationship with him is complicated, but it is mine. And whatever there is between him and I is just that. In the same way that you've had issues with your father, or that Rosalind has had issues with hers, that from everything we've been told, or that I've seen in dreams, he loved her. I've had more than enough opportunities over the years that if I thought he was evil, that he wasn't helping in some way, I could have killed him with my eyes closed.
Do you feel Xenatal's love?
No.
Do you want Xenatal's love?
No.
The dude inspo. Not inspo, sorry. Insight check.
An insight?
Yeah.
Inspo. 27.
27.
I suppose you will decide how this sounds to you, or how it makes Maeve feel realizing and hearing it as it registers, and you're able to sort of study her face, but she's truthful. And she continues, and until you, I didn't want anyone's. Because I had decided, like him, to dedicate myself to trying to make sure that those who did not get a say in being able to live the lives the way that they want to had a chance to find it themselves. Maybe that sounds cold. Maybe it doesn't sound real to some people.
It's real to you. But I guess what is it now? Is it the same? Is it different?
I'm still trying to figure that out. Because if someday I decide to stop, if we go and find some cottage in the Pallid Grove, then maybe somebody takes up doing what I did before. I'm sure they will. But it also means that maybe they miss something that I wouldn't have. Maybe they fail a job that I wouldn't have, and someone who could have lived doesn't. Is that fair to me? No, probably not, but it's my choice to make.
I'm sorry that we've made you feel like you are somehow brainwashed or by Xenotol. That's not how I look at it.
It doesn't matter how
But-
you look at it.
What do you mean? What do you mean it doesn't matter?
How you look at it is irrelevant to the situation. It is what it is. It was never something that any of you were going to approve of. I'm aware that my upbringing and my training was unorthodox. But it made me who I am.
I'm only doing an insight check because the way you acted that out.
Mhm.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah, go for it.
Okay.
What are you trying to...
Is there more emotion behind her statement? Because it sounded like, and I know you're just talking. I'm not trying to get all in your acting abilities,
no, yeah,
but
sure.
it sounded like her voice broke.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to know if there's more emotion behind there than she's trying to let through. 27 again.
She's struggling with this moment, not because she doesn't believe it. I think that you can tell that there is conviction and sincerity in it. To her, the life that she's led has been hard. It has been difficult, and to outside eyes, when you look at that, it doesn't look like something that someone should want. And she's struggling because there's not a way to sort of sell it in a good light. So the words that she's using sound just as damning because they're the words that you've used to point it all out, and she recognizes that. Whether that means that she has convinced herself of it as a way to cope with it, or if it is a sense of because she's been able to cause good or to help people with her pain, maybe there's a odd sense of pride in the way that, people who work 80 hours a week to make ends meet feel proud of the work that they do, even though they shouldn't have to do that. There's also, with a 27,
I rolled a 19.
yeah, that's really good. There's also some other, I think, feelings in conflict there that she's trying to work through some guilt because this is more player stuff here than necessarily what Maeve specifically gets out of that.
Okay.
But Zana is very aware of how all of you feel about the revelation that she had made of the Lawbringer, and
Yeah.
is something that she wants to address and talk about. But in this moment, doesn't feel like she can, because she feels like she has to defend herself against the accusations that have been leveled at Zenithal in relation to her, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yep, it does. Have we been talking out loud or in my head? In our head, it's fine if it was out loud. I
Out
didn't
loud
call
unless
for it.
you say otherwise.
Nope, that's fine.
Mhm.
That's fine, because this will make more sense with what I'm about to do anyway. Because Maeve is fucking paranoid. She will nod and put a hand on Zana's shoulder and look straight at her, and out loud she's going to say, I don't believe that what you are... Sorry, hold on. How's she gonna say this? At the end of the day, like you said, how I see something doesn't really matter. But in my heart, I wish you didn't. I wish you weren't so burdened with such difficult decisions every day with this job you've been given. And in her head, Maeve's gonna say, I have other concerns I can't say out loud. I'm going to hug you so I can say them. Meaning she wants to, like, have a reason why they're suddenly not talking. So she could speak further in her head.
Mm-hmm.
Does she say anything out loud to that, or not really?
She just listens
Okay.
and waits.
She's gonna hug her, however awkwardly and stilted that is or not. And in her head, she's gonna say, to be completely honest with you, Zana, I don't fully understand how things work in Rexentrum. I may have my own opinions, like Roz, about the rightness of things, but at the end of the day, we're gonna have to do things that we're not gonna like to be successful sometimes. But I have seen how you act around Zenithal personally, and that's really what makes me not trust him.
Back in your head,
Yeah.
I understand that, and a lifetime with him is certainly a lot different than working for the betterment of the world with him.
You trying to trick him?
She kind of pushes you, like, away to look at you. In your head, what do you mean?
He wants you close to us. As far as I know, he also doesn't know about you purposely destroying the listening device.
He has suspicions.
What did you say?
Stuck to my story.
Why?
I think it was my way of taking some of his control away without it turning into something more. Think of it like teenage rebellion.
Do you think there are other controls he needs to be taken away?
None that I'm aware of or think that we have any power over.
It's a creation magic. Does that concern you?
That concerns me regardless of whose hand it's in.
But is
And
it
Maeve,
concerning?
we need it. Whatever you or Raz or anyone else thinks of Zenithal or for the Cerberus Assembly, there are 6 of us, and at any moment it could be 5. It could be 4.
Oop, your music's
Music.
fucking up.
Okay, one sec. Oops, almost disconnected myself. That's not what I want.
Oh no! Don't do that. We have a tense moment.
Guys, hear it again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
There's a chance that tomorrow none of us make it back home. So to know that Exandria has a way, a hope to close these portals and to know where they are before they open, I'm sorry. With every world on the line, the ends do justify the means. If the Empire has to be wiped out so that Torres is saved, so that every Exandria is saved, I'll make that call. So, I guess you and Raz and anyone else who has a problem with it, what they need to decide is it worth being able to sleep a little better at night over lessening our chances of saving people? And she wasn't really into the first hug. She
Yeah.
sort of just let you do it so you could talk to her.
Yeah.
She squeezes you and then she goes into the mansion.
Okay. That's fine. You will watch her go, and then, well, go set up camp. She was gonna decide whether to go in or not, depending on how that went. So, she's gonna go set up camp instead. 'Cause I don't think
Alright.
she wants to be seen with her right now. So,
Doesn't think who wants to be seen with. You don't
Oh,
think
I-
that Zana wants to be seen with you?
oh, I didn't. No, what I said. I don't think Zana wants to see me right now. That's what I meant to say. Sorry.
Oh, I gotcha.
Sorry. That came out wrong.
I think the fact that she gave you an intense hug as she was walking in, and I think that was
Oh,
that. Yeah,
I
like the
misunderstood.
squeeze was like she gave you a hug back,
Oh, I misunderstood.
and then
I thought it
she
was
went in. No, that was
Okay.
kind of her way of saying I know things are heated right now, but
I see. Okay.
nothing for me has changed in regards to you.
Okay.
Type deal.
I'm gonna think in Raz's head. Hey, I scream in my head if something is coming. I have a feeling a lot of us are not going to be getting good sleep, and you can totally judge me for this. I'm going to go inside just so that someone has some sleep, but just scream in my head if something happens.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't think I'll be sleeping at night.
I hear
Okay.
you.
Go get whatever rest you can.
I'm going to take the card box with me, but I'll go outside with it if people need to come out.
Okay.
I just don't, unless you want to watch over the card box, I don't want to leave it here.
Probably safer in there.
Okay, yep, I'll take it with me. She'll
Hold
pocket
on. Interdimensional.
All right, so yeah, we're
Bag
gonna
of
we're gonna
holding shit.
we're gonna hold on. We're gonna cut into the card box really quick. So Corey, Hermia, Zealous, Leo, did you go in the card box?
Yeah,
he
I
did.
handed off my
Yep.
bracelet to
All right.
Zana.
So all of you go, or you four go into the card box. Inside the card box, you are all standing in a black void.
Oh, this
Corey
is
starts
homely.
waving their hands and is like, cozy campfire.
Roll a d20.
I don't add anything.
What'd you get?
13.
Campfire appears in the middle.
Okay. I'm going to try to make the comfiest, most aesthetic, Instagrammable pillow like campground. So there'll be like individual tents so that that they're all facing each other, and then there's like a cute little campfire in the center.
Okay. 3 tents appear. One of them's filled with pillows.
I call that one.
Okay, well, we just share.
As you kind of take some time, Corey, really sort of focusing, you can begin to mold within here to your liking.
Dope.
Maybe
Yeah.
over time you can do more complex things, but right now it does seem to just be sort of this one sort of small area or void.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, Corey will just try to set it up as homey as possible, and then is just grumbling to themselves like, stupid seneschal and stupid walking around demons.
I mean, it's hard to say that he's evil. Like, he believes he knows he's doing good, but I don't know how to square this either. You have any idea, Hermia?
I don't know. I feel like we should be, I don't know, bad at Zana. I feel like she's kind of like been like tricking us all this time. I don't know. Like I said, I feel a lot of feelings right now. I don't honestly like. I don't trust Mr. Black, and I've never trusted him. But that's not more so on like what I know about him. It's just that like I know he plays the game and he thinks that like killing people like to like get what he wants is like a good, like not a good, but like like he thinks it's normal, and I don't think that's normal. I think that's kind of crazy. And I don't know. There's a reason why I left home, because I don't want to be involved in like this political like circus and have everyone being fake to you, and you don't know if they're really your friend or they're just trying to get information from you. So yeah, I don't know.
You got in the world-saving business, so that kind of
Hey, I'm
ties
saving the
together.
world. That doesn't mean that I have to make friends with all these political like crazy people.
True.
I'm just fight shit and fuck it up. That's what I do.
Your Roz is showing.
Roz loves you.
I don't know what the answer is here either. And yeah, to an extent, it's kind of all we got, and I don't know if there is time to make another ally that we can trust or whatever. But he just needs to understand that he needs to work with us. He wouldn't have anything that he's worked on if it weren't for us.
Well, I'm pretty
And
sure
honestly-
if we didn't follow, Zana was going to kill us one by one, but
Well, that's a different timeline. That's a different universe we're not going to worry about. And honestly,
I didn't kill you is not the same as doing someone a kindness.
Yeah, that's like the bare minimum. Is not killing somebody. Like that shouldn't be like, you know, like a positive thing. That's like
To be fair, the only one of us she tried to kill was on a very personal mission, not a Zenitol
no,
mission.
this is
Okay,
just
well,
wild
That's also fair.
speculation.
That's fair.
As 100% of people she has shot in the gut.
Exactly.
I got shot too, Roz.
Oh, that's true. Sorry. As 50% of people she has shot in the gut.
Why did she shoot you?
Well, sorry. Technically, I'm 66 repeating percent because she shot me in the gut twice.
I
Y'all
think
need
I was
suck
the
it
one
shut.
that got to the room first, and I was jumping
Oh.
out the window towards her, and she got me.
Oh. Okay, that makes sense. Anyway, sorry to
Just-
interrupt.
like with the magic stuff that he's doing and whatever, and I wouldn't be so upset about it. I don't think the rest of us would be so upset about it as if he actually made us feel and actually let us in on this stuff. Like Hermia, if you were part of like learning about it and then you could kind of like make sure he's not doing any funky shit with it, I would be fine with that. I know that we have to work with shitty people. Sometimes you just don't like your coworkers, and that's fine. But this feels like he's just using us as pawns and talking to us like children, and I don't know why he would do that, because if he wants to burn this bridge, then yeah, sure, 6 of us isn't great, but if we leave, then it's just him. So
The problem is I don't think Zana will follow us.
Right. That's how we get down to 6, I thought. There's 7 of us normally.
Oh,
oh, my bad. I don't know, and that's her decision. And if he wants to do that, then fine. But I would hope that with all of us, all the time that we spent together, that she would, I don't know.
You feel the box kind of shake and rumble a little bit, and you can sense that Maeve's picked it up and is walking with it.
I think it's fine. As long as she doesn't bring us into the mansion, it won't tear an interdimensional hole.
Oh
in
God,
the
will it?
fabric of time space.
There's only one way to find out. Do you
I
walk?
say-
Do you walk through the doorway?
I think so. I don't think it's quite the same. Because,
No.
like,
You know what?
No, because
I'll
it's
solve
the
problem.
same.
I'll solve
it-
the issue 2
because-
stones. I'm gonna go out with Zenitol in the mansion.
I would say we've definitely taken a bag of holding into the card box, so it should be fine.
Yeah,
look,
that's true.
Worst case scenario,
But
Roz
isn't
is
it
on her
different
own
'cause
in Xhorhas, and everyone
Exactly.
else gets thrown into the astral plane.
Exactly.
Look,
Problem solved.
and this is, like I say, fairly close to home. I mean, home outside of Vano.
Roz just sitting there brooding, and like this giant, massive tear behind her just like engulfs itself, and without even looking, she's just like, fucking figures.
I didn't know portals could spawn portals inside of them.
Yeah, Roz just looking over like, kind of how I got here, actually. Huh.
No, you walk through, and it's fine.
Cool. Beautiful. Love it. Awesome.
So, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But I'm willing to maybe admit that it's my emotions, because I just don't like him. But I don't know if we can just move forward without anything changing. At least with him.
Zealous, you're a pretty good judge of character. What's your read of all this?
It's hard to say. Usually when my family is at odds with each other, it's not at over such serious matters.
Do you think, Zealous, that if we just continue on, not even trying to negotiate or establish, like, I don't know, a better partnership, that it's not going to bite us in the ass later?
Oh. I mean, it's always, I suppose it's always a good idea to attempt to jockey for a better position. What would we want to have in terms of, like, what would we want that he's not already providing us?
Well, transparency, for one. And he can say he does that all he wants, but I sure as hell felt blindsided by the meeting that we had with the king. It just felt like we were on stage, like his little trophies to show off how cool he is.
Seeing the only reason why I helped him open that portal was I was trying to help Zana.
Wow.
And if he's such a politician, he should know how to make allies. He wants to play the game with us. Make us feel comfortable. Make us trust you. But instead, he just wants to be all pedantic and all stereotypical evil wizard about it.
Was all the things that we were blindsided by, was that things that Zana was also blindsided by?
She's more in on the loop than she lets on, I think.
So,
Because you heard her talking about the Lawbringer.
I don't like that she kept secrets from Maeve. And I don't know why she would. I mean, Maeve, like, accepts a lot of shit from us because we're kind of shit trash people sometimes. And she's, like, really, really good. But, I don't know. That's what kind of, like, made me the most mad.
Sorry, Roz.
I mean, we can always check in on Maeve. Because
yeah.
she's the
With-
one who's really seen all sides of Zana. Oh gosh, I realized what I said. You know what I mean. I don't know. I just
Friends
Yeah.
should be honest with each other.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I get it a little bit. I didn't tell you guys about Gil for however long, and I'm not saying it's the same. It's absolutely not the same. But
I mean, it's still an abusive relationship regardless. But at least Gil's actually making the amends for it in kind of a weird way.
is he? Or is he? I start pantomiming, looking around the void. Really? Wow. Great
he'll
to
be-
see.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm unpacking it later.
I
yeah,
mean,
it really does suck when one of your really close friends just up and leaves and doesn't really have a really good goodbye.
why? Shots fired.
Talked about it, Zealous. We talked about it. I'm sorry, okay? I love you guys. I came back. I was in a bad place in my life, okay? I was still bald little Voldemort Corey, okay? Like I
I mean,
okay. So
also, like,
it'll be fine when
Corey, you
Gil
weren't
comes back.
sleeping with anybody when you were like not being like truthful. I feel like that adds a layer of betrayal. I mean, she saw Maeve naked and she still lied to her face, or withheld truth with just still lying.
Okay, I don't want to think about
You
like
haven't
my
lied to
older
anybody you
sister
slept
being
with?
naked. Oh God, everyone stop talking.
I do
please.
not lie to Roz. I tell her everything.
Look,
I
look,
mean,
look,
if you
look.
think about it, we've all seen each other naked. We
Okay,
just have
You
clothes
have-
on.
Zealous.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
true.
not naked. Their relationship is their own.
Sorry.
The only thing.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. Was that line? If you think about it, we've all seen each other naked except we have clothes on.
Not even just we've been in the bath
Yeah,
together.
that's what I thought you were.
No one has seen Hermia naked except for Roz.
It's true. She always casts invisible on herself.
That's true.
I always use a spell slot too. I just do that, guys. I don't like being seen.
You'll grow out of that.
No.
I have a question. Has Xenotol ever directly dodged or lied or manipulated us when we asked him a direct question?
I don't think we've ever asked him a direct question. Have we? I don't know.
We did there.
I mean, sure, but that's that. It's not just whether he can, answer that. It's more so that the things that involves us, he makes those decisions, and then all of a sudden, it turns out it's in direct benefit to him, not just to us. And while I do appreciate whatever help he's given us, it also means nothing that every time that we've talked to him, it has been in some condescending, obscure way. And naturally, that's just going to not make people trust you or like you. Not even to consider his relationship with Zana.
So,
This is why I like dealing with actual criminals better. Because it's more cut and dry.
Like, you know that, like, if someone, like, you know they're all murderers and terrible people and they don't try to pretend otherwise kind of thing.
Yeah, you know what's going to happen. You can read people better.
I could see that. I could see why that would be refreshing. I'm used to nobody ever being honest with themselves or other people. Until now. Until with you guys. Back home, no one's ever honest. I don't know. I just don't trust him based on the fact that he's like, I don't know. I guess part of the government, the status quo.
Yeah, fuck the man.
I mean, I would have
That's-
trust him a little
Also,
more
like,
if
I don't
he...
appreciate being like sprung into like suddenly being someone's like job reference.
Yeah,
I
like that's
specifically
weird.
wanted to not to talk during that whole
Like,
entire thing.
You're supposed to call the person and be like, "Hey, can you
Are you
vouch
cool
for
with
me? I'm
it?
applying for this new position." And then you say, "Yeah, no problem. Is it a 10-minute call? Do you need 30?" Right? But none of that. He was just
Yeah.
like,
It was some
boom.
preparation time. Corey is spitting tonight.
In
need
Xenotol's defense,
consent.
if he could have had the choice of whether or not the king asked y'all your opinions, he also would have said, no, don't do that.
Well, we didn't know that, so the
It
point
was
still
definitely-
stands.
Xenotol didn't go
there's
in
a
and be
spot
like,
on the
hey,
application.
king, can you ask the second chances what they think
Yeah.
about me getting in that? Yeah.
There's a
I
spot
would
on the
love that kind of
application that says,
narcissism,
"Is it okay
though.
if we contact the last party you were aiding?" And he checked no.
Exactly.
Magic DMV.
I don't know. My vote is that I can move forward if we all, I don't know, set up some a term of agreement, things that he has to do for us, um, and things that he has to share with us.
Honestly, Corey, I would love that for us and for him, because God, he needs some like moral compass in his life. But I really don't think he's the type to agree to anybody's terms. He's gonna do what he wants. And he's got more power right now than we do. I mean, not like physically. Physically, we'd probably take him in a fight, like all of us, if we just jumped him. But like politically, like in society, like he could be like, yo, actually the second chances were coercing me like all along, you
Well,
know? And then they're
fine.
garbage criminals, and then we get arrested, and I don't want to. Well, I mean, it was fun being in jail that one time with Roz, but like I don't want to be in like human jail.
I know,
Empire jail.
but here's the thing.
Jail.
Then if that happens, then cool. We know absolutely not to trust him, because then that makes everything he just said out there bullshit. If he is so altruistic, if he's so thinking so much about, oh, this is all in the betterment of the world and da 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 da, thinking of the greater good, then he won't do that. He'll have to listen. He'll have to accept. And then if he doesn't, then cool. At least we, as second chances, know how to move forward.
Has anyone ever just like tried to like ask him for like the stuff that he knows and like to be more involved with his research and stuff?
I think we tried, and he basically called us stupid, didn't he?
Maeve kind of inquired about it on the visit. Uh-oh.
What?
I just deleted the entire map. It's fine. I fixed it.
Okay.
No big deal.
Yeah. And given that they were only there sort of like for the night, and I don't think Maeve has any training in Arcana,
No.
he didn't call her stupid, but like was sort of, it was one of those things of like, it's not really a small talk subject. Is essentially what it came down to.
Didn't she also in that conversation make a suggestion
You
to
did.
him
You
that
did.
he was like,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, you sure did. So to be fair, you got a point there. You got a point on the board.
I did.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember what it was though.
It was something about was it that the Plague of Eyes maybe used the same source or something?
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because he was acting like it was above us, and I was like, well, couldn't the Plague of Eyes maybe have access to this magic or something like that?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, he thinks we can't. At least he didn't think I could understand it.
I mean, also, I don't know. I thought Zana's whole thing about, like, spying on us was over, and now I'm just questioning everything. She's seen so much shit, guys. She's probably told him everything.
It's
But
not
what
like she watched you and Roz do it.
Okay, Leo, that's not what I was implying. But okay.
That's a thought now. I'm sorry.
Sure is.
I don't know. And I don't want to think that about Zana, but I don't know. I don't know if that's something we should be thinking about right now. And I'm only saying that because I feel like we just need to be on the same page, all of us, as far as it comes to Xanatal. And I feel like Zana can choose whether or not she's a part of that or she's with us.
I mean, at the end of the day, if our entire argument is, well, you haven't done this and then we haven't done this, and it's because we haven't tried to include ourselves, then that's kind of on us. But if we don't trust Zenadal because he's slimy, then that's kind of the end of it. If we don't trust him because he's not trustworthy, then that's the end of it. Like, nothing we can do is ever going to change that.
And that's fine if he's gonna be slimy, but
I don't support him having access to creation magic. Like, we saw like this force like completely erase Leo, and just thinking about someone like him like having that kind of thing to like unmake something, that's scary. I mean, that's great that we can close portals and shit, but it just seems like a force of like nature or life that no one was meant to like be in control of.
Well, you do bring up a good point. We should have tried using that on the Crawling King.
I mean, we don't understand it enough. Like, I mean, magic, like, it comes like at a cost, you know, whether it's
For sure. But if we
energy or
could rid
whatever.
the world from plagues like that.
Like, I don't know, like, what goes all into it. Like, the one attempt that I had to harness it, I was so close, but it wasn't to, like, basically, it wasn't, like, a new thing. It was, like, kind of like another medium to, like, casting a spell that's already known. But, I mean, at the same time, I can understand, like, the thirst for knowledge and for understanding the unknown. But, I mean, at the same time, I feel like not just one person can decide who should know it and who shouldn't. And it just seems like if I had to pick anybody, it wouldn't be the Empire, because, I mean, Empire's got a bad rap, guys. Also, and this might be like my elvish racist roots, but a lot of the elves at the academy said like magic this big shouldn't be in the hands of mortals because they're too short-sighted. I mean, the guys only live for so long. Like, what, 80, 100 years if you're lucky?
All right. Yeah, I mean,
Xanatal is an elf, by the way.
Okay, yeah, but like he's under the king. The king is human.
Hermia, give me we'll call it a history check.
Okay.
Yeah, what?
Is he human? I don't know.
No.
No.
Sorry,
king
I
is-
was responding to
this is-
Roz's statement.
This is more of
Chat.
a political history sort of thing.
18 plus. What is my history?
So
It's high.
So the Cerberus Assembly is an interesting organization in that while they're based in the Empire, and they do have a lot of sort of sway over certain things, and technically the king is his king because he lives there. The Cerberus Assembly is separate from what I would call like your usual sort of parts of the government. So they don't answer to the king in the same sort of way that, like, you know, the military would, right?
Okay, with it 18 plus 7, would it is
I'll
the
give you-
Cerberus
I'll give
Assembly
you-
like wait no,
No, hold on.
Wait no. Let me finish my question before I lose it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does the Cerberus Assembly, like, do they have like humans' best interests, or are they after like
Yes,
humanity as a whole?
there's humans in it as well. Astrid Beck, for example, is a human. Elena was a human. So they have what would sort of be publicly known, because some people do mistrust them because they are a bunch of wizards, and people just in general tend to mistrust wizards because of like hubris and stuff like that. But their focus is on understanding magic, you know, combating threats. All the different archmages sort of in charge of different things and are sort of work separately on their own things, then come together in some cases in fashion. They're definitely seen worse by outside forces. I would say that Wildmount is probably the closest to like the way the world views America, which isn't great all the time.
Oh, great! I definitely don't trust them.
But
Yeah, me neither.
So yeah, I just wanted to put sort of a little bit of additional context. And because you got so high on your history roll, if you want to ask one more question about something you might know, you may, or if you want like one more detail.
I mean, yeah, I think it's more so like Hernia's like upbringing that's basically fueling her thought line of the service assembly and the Empire can't be trusted.
Tell you what, if you're not going to use that last question, I'll give you a bit more information that you would have gotten because of your time in Rexentrim. So 10 years ago, there was a major, big, huge scandal where one of the Cerberus Assembly members, Trent Ickathon, who was the Archmage of Civic Influence, was outed for corruption by one of his proteges and by two of his proteges and a member of the Cobalt Soul. And he was captured, arrested, imprisoned, and an operation called the Volstrucker program, which was essentially making magic assassins, was dismantled as a result of that, and Astrid Beck took his place. And following that, the Cobalt Soul and the Cerberus Assembly, who are normally at odds with each other, and still kind of are, founded the Cobalt Guardians, which is kind of an intermediary organization that is supposed to sort of make sure that they work together more and can keep tabs better on each other than what they were doing previously.
Well, I don't know. It's just something that I stand by, that it should not just be one group that gets to decide what is, what magic or power should or should not be used, especially one as scary as creation magic or whatever we call it, cosmic magic. I don't know.
Depends if you're a cleric or a wizard.
Lelis,
Corey.
by the questions that you're asking, do you think we're being too emotional about this? Do you think we're wrong? Do you think Xenotol is right and that we should just, I don't know, keep trucking on and not complain? I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to say that's what you're trying to say. What's your objective opinion, I guess, about all of this?
I think
Good night, Hermia. She passes out.
It's a very exhausting conversation.
Well, to be honest, I can see both sides of it. I don't really think that a lot of the arguments that you're making against Xenotol have a lot of weight to them. Well, you're not really giving Xenotol a fair shake, considering that he has basically given us everything that we've asked for. and we haven't asked for a lot, and therefore he hasn't denied us a lot. If he had been asking for a lot and he had been saying no or turning us away, then we'd have more of a case against him. But in Roz's defense, Xenotol is kind of a slimy bastard, so I can understand not wanting to work with him at all.
Well, I
If we
don't think
can't-
she sees a redeemable factor to him because we got her on board with the gentleman, which I understood was a really hard decision, but like I don't even see a redeemable thing about Xenotol.
I mean, the redeemable quality about Xenotol is that we can use him as much as he uses us, in that we can learn more about portals and creation magic. The difference is that if we don't trust him at all, is that he's going to be in charge of all the information that he gives us. So if we have to have information that he doesn't know, if we want to have any kind of ace up our sleeve, and I don't know if we have any information that he doesn't know.
Well, he doesn't have one thing, which is that we can create other tattoos. Zana didn't tell him. So he's going through a lot of work where we could just do what he wants to do with a little bit of fucking around.
I mean, the Oracle said that it's theoretically possible, but at great cost, great trial, great tribulation, so it's not something that we would even really want to do on a whim.
For sure. I'm just saying we have more information that he doesn't have. And if we keep playing that card close, I kind of trust Zana a little bit more because she's playing all her cards kind of close. I just wish she would reveal them to us.
Okay.
So it's probably better that we play ball until we figure out how to close this portal and figure out this political shit in Rexentrum, to be honest.
I
don't
think
know,
we
I
probably
feel-
have more. We gain more by working with Xenotol, not working with Xenotol. But I'm gonna go with however my family goes. So if we decide not to work with him, that's fine by me.
Followed you guys this far. I'm not gonna fucking abandon you.
I think we should talk to him in the morning then. Or let's talk to the Maeve and Rods and I don't know. I'm scared to talk about it back in Rexentrum because I don't know, it feels like home turf for him. And while he's out here, it's just us.
Do you think he bugged our house?
No, but I don't know, he could call in other minions he has or be like,
The assassin squad?
Yeah, or be like, oh, guards, they're beating me up. I don't know. I just feel like we have a little bit of an upper hand if we're here and kind of outnumbering him. not to say it like that, but
I mean, if we took him out now, we'd have worse problems
I'm not
walking
saying
into
we
where we're
should-
going.
I know I'm not saying we should do that. I'm just saying that I think for the betterment of the group, if we're all this divided about it, it's not going to do us any good for the portal.
True, but I have confidence that we'll all put that aside when we face that.
Okay, mister, I put both hands on the portal and exploded.
I mean, if I was the only one that exploded, it would have been a good plan.
Yeah, Let me just bring Roz in here and let's ask how she saw it. Oh, she didn't see it because she was also dead.
Roz, your ears are ringing.
Yeah, you're yeah, you're
That's
you're
It's
I
pretending.
meant
tinnitus.
that more in the sense that multiple people had died during the portal closing, not just Leo.
Well, as you continue to discuss amongst yourselves, Roslyn, was there anything else outside that you wanted to do? And
Want to find some walking around demons?
And are you? We'll get to the Udok Archmage in a minute. And are you? Who's going to start off with silence? By the way,
That'd probably be a good place to start.
Were you going to try and stay up the whole night, considering that no one else is out here?
Yeah. I mean, she barely sleeps anymore, anyways.
Do you want? Yeah. Do you want to try that at least, or no?
Wait.
No. She's the only one out there right now.
Okay.
We have a potion.
Oh, yeah, we do. A potion of wakefulness.
Yeah. She'll use watchful rush.
Is that
try to sleep.
Yeah, check the inventory. But...
I've got like 5 in my inventory.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, I'm good.
No problem.
Then never mind. We have so many
She
healing
is going
guys.
full on Nightmare on Elm Street mode. She doesn't like sleeping anymore, so she's not sleeping anymore.
Cool.
But sorry, what?
Make a perception check for me.
$17.
That's pretty good.
It's about as good as I can do.
That's the top. That's the other. That's the right side of the bell curve.
You are sitting there a few hours into the night. You know, a few times your eyes go to the horizon, at least what you can see in the dark. You know, you look back over at the direction of the portal a few times. Whatever thoughts go through your mind, whatever it is that you're focusing on. And you look down towards your weapon at your side. And as it's kind of buried a bit in the dirt and the sand, if it wasn't for the sort of juxtaposition of some of the sand or the dirt across the blade, you wouldn't have noticed it just on the ground itself. But you see the sand jumps, bounces.
Oh.
You can't feel the shake in the ground. It's so minute, it's so far off. But like the cup of water in Jurassic Park, you just see the sand bouncing every once in a while, and then it stops.
Cool. Roz is gonna like move a little bit away and find like a rock or something to like duck down behind and see if she can't get a idea of what is in the distance.
Wherever or whatever it is seems to be too far off for you to get any more than just having noticed that.
Okay. Well, then she'll resume kind of camping out and just keep a wary eye out for it. She will probably try and talk to Light at some point.
Yeah, if you'd like to, go ahead.
She'll reach out. Hey. We haven't talked in a bit.
No, but I've been listening.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Nothing, actually. Just...
distraction, then.
Yeah. I'm angry and upset, and I don't want to think about it for a bit.
Very well. Andrin has me going to get groceries in the morning, so I have to make a list to run by him. You can help me with that.
Andoran has you grocery shopping now.
I have to maintain a certain level of responsibilities in sharing with others.
Is that Mom's idea?
No, it's called being a contributing member of society, Rosalind. Do you want to help me or not?
I'm happy to help. It's just it sounds kind of like I'm talking to Mom is all. Yeah. What have you gotten something to eat for each of the meals coming up?
So the two of you discuss and help her come up with a grocery list.
A grocery list. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Maeve, as you head
Yeah.
inside, you have the card box. You can
I
easily
do.
sort of clip to your waist unless you just wanted to leave
Yeah.
it somewhere.
Nah, I keep it close to me.
The inside is familiar. You've been through sort of, the main entryway and into Xenatol's residence, and basically it's set up to look like that gathering room that Zealous went around trying to cast spells on. And then besides just that, there are a series of doors, one of which you can tell leads into some sort of like kitchen area. There's no stairs that go up and sort of back to where all of the stuff like his laboratory and all of that is. There's just one more hallway that as you look down it has it's just a long hallway that ends, and then there's a series of doors, and counting them, there seems to be exactly 8 of them. So it seems that Xenatol had, when he cast this spell, created it with rooms for everyone.
For everybody. Okay. She's got the Carbucks in one hand. She's got Luster in little form on her shoulder. She's just like, it's gonna be a long night, Luster.
Did you want to look for anyone, or just what was the plan coming in?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know if she wants to talk to Xenatol by herself, because that sounds dangerous.
Make bold choices, Timavra.
Make bold choices.
Yep. No, sorry, that's not Timavra. Make bold choices, Sarah. We love bold choices.
God, I don't know what I would say to him at this point. Truly, I don't know what I'd say to him that everyone else hasn't already said.
Roll the dice.
And I don't want to. Yes, are you asking me to talk to Xenatol?
In Maeve's mind, even if she doesn't know what she wants to say or talk about, is she thinking, like, should I go and do it?
I think in her mind she's wondering, like, no, but everybody else left, right? They either Roz made a statement to sit outside, everybody else kind of made a middle statement to go in the card box, and she's here. She's the only one besides Zana that walked in. And so I think in her mind she's thinking, like, okay, I did do this as kind of a semi-support to Zana. Also, I just have a feeling that we're all going to get woken up by something, and that card box is way too crowded. So yeah, I don't know. I think she's like wondering, like, should I take this chance? But I think there's a part of her that's a little bit like unsure if it's safe to, or whether that would just make things worse, because she is not a influential, talkative person.
I will tell you, Sarah, that short of you walking in and trying to start something with him, he's not going to hurt or kill anyone. You are, as was pointed out multiple times in that meeting with the king, the current line of defense against what is happening.
I'm not worried about him killing me. I just don't. All right. We'll be bold and see where this goes, but I as Sarah, I'm not really sure where this is going to go. I just have to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I guess she's first going to see where, like, Zana may have gone off to, and then she'll see if Xenatol, and she doesn't know if maybe they're in the same place right now.
Yeah, so as you walk in to the hallway, you actually see that each of the doors has a little golden placard with
our names.
with a name carved into it.
Yeah. Okay. I will ask Luster if he just wants to go into the room with our label or if he wants to stay with me.
He kind of perks up and kind of gives you a look like, no, let's do it.
Stay. All right. She'll, I think she would first actually just walk by to see if Zana's in her room, just to see if she's sleeping or not.
Open the door to Zana's room.
Yep.
Yep. You turn the knob, push the door open, and as it starts to open, it gets pulled open quicker, and she seems to be right there, and she seems a bit surprised that you're in here. She opens the door and steps back.
Sorry, did I interrupt you?
No.
I guess I just wanted to check on you before I let you rest for the night. I have the others with me and
Shake the box.
shake the box, yeah. I keep it close, and Zana will mind scream if something's out there.
Okay.
I think for May, she just wants to make sure she's okay, but she's not going to push a conversation right now. I think the only thing she will ask is, would you rather wait to talk to the whole group about your conversation with... I imagine the Lawbringer has a hammer. I don't know why I imagine that.
Whenever, if you all want to talk about it tonight, we can. If you don't mind waiting till tomorrow after Zenithal leaves, either's fine with me, I suppose.
You don't have to give me any details, but what was it like? Was he?
She.
She helpful for you?
Hold on one sec. Is it the Lawbringer or the Lawbearer? I'm just realizing.
I don't know. Oh, is this
It's
the one that
It's the
is
Lawbearer. I am sorry.
Is this the
That's right.
Is this the
Yep.
one that's in love with Melora?
Yes, Melora and the Lawbringer were wives. Yep.
Yes, I did. Okay.
It's more complicated than that.
Well, I know all about complicated religious figures, but I'll wait to hear more with everybody else.
She nods and she kind of walks in, but leaves the door open, signaling to you that if you wanted to stay or return, you can.
She nods. I'll see you later. In a minute. And she'll just kind of like privacy close the door.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna take a deep breath and finds Anatol's door. Wherever this is gonna go.
Just open.
I knock.
Fucking kick it in. You knock.
Xander, we gotta talk!
Yep. As you knock, you hear from inside. It's open. You may enter.
All right. She will enter.
As you do, walking in, you see that he is at... imagine the like alchemist's setup for an apothecary, but it's all like magic and like mage stuff, right?
Yeah.
Seems to be sort of jotting stuff down, like going over books, and you've actually, I think, seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't know if I've specifically told you or if I had mentioned it in a what you don't see. So maybe you're seeing it again. Maybe you're seeing it for the first time.
Fair enough.
You see an apparatus that has gems that you recognize, copies of the ones that he had given you to put into portals. And I believe you've put them into 1, 2, 3.
I want to say it's 4 total.
First one was the Giants, Dedrin, Pallid
Giants,
Grove.
Dedrin, Palo Grove, and the portal we opened.
Oh, yeah.
Did you throw one into that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you see 3 floating gems that are giving off sort of a pinkish, purplish hue that seem to just sort of be traveling in a circle, like up and around and under this apparatus. And he turns. Timavra, I was half expecting to see Miss Larest with sword drawn, but I suppose she wouldn't have knocked.
No. We may be impulsive, but we are tempered.
What can I do for you?
Sorry, I'm trying to think of how she would say this. Honestly, I am the kind of person that tries to find understanding with people, even if I might not agree with them. And, well, I am not sure if we would be able to find understanding within a few minutes of talking. But for the sake of our group and for Zana's sake, I figured I should try.
He closes the tome that he had opened up and sets down the quill. Walks over towards a bookcase where there's 2 chairs and there's like a small stand sort of in between them. He sits down and gestures to it.
She'll sit down with them with, I'm guessing, Luster on her shoulder, giving a look.
Mm-hmm.
Luster is Pascal right now.
I understand the plight of the hero more than you might expect. I know that you want to feel that when you sacrifice your time, your happiness, what could be spent finding love, raising a family, that you want to know that sacrificing that is being done for a good and just cause. What reason would anyone have to put their life on the line if at the end of the day they didn't feel like they were making a difference? None of you need trust me. The work we do doesn't require trust. In fact, it's probably better if you don't. And it gives you a healthy dose of skepticism. It will require you to question me. And to be clear, nothing about you questioning my motives offends me. I see the way that each of you look at me, or the way that you looked at all of those in that room, the ones who make decisions. And if we could create a world where Rosalind's and Hermia's, Corey's and Zealus's sat on those thrones and made those decisions, I would be all for it. But the fact of the matter is, there are 2 kinds of people that exist in the world. There are those who have unyielding, unbreakable principles that they stick to no matter what, hills that they will die on, rules that they follow. And there are those who allow theirs to bend. They make compromises. To varying degrees. And I have found that while it is important to stick to your principles, that if everything that you believe in is hard and sturdy like a rock, if you cannot bend, those who are willing to will eventually break you. It's
Are
difficult.
you speaking? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Are you speaking from experience? You said you understood hero types, and now you're here also mentioning that having a rock-solid will eventually break by those. Are you speaking from experience?
He pours a glass of wine and offers you some.
And she'll sip it.
Okay. Constitution saving throw, JK.
Yeah, exactly. I'm an idiot.
You didn't even sniff it?
Babe, how could you?
I was born into noble lineage, which I can guess most of you assume, but it wasn't within the Empire. I come from what was before the Empire, the Julius Dominion, country that the Empire defeated and eventually absorbed. During that transition, it was bloody. And not because of the Empire. My countrymen walked over one another to make sure that they had a spot in the new regime. My father and mother tried to stay above that. They, as ill-advised of a move as it may have been in hindsight, they had hoped that over time, clearer heads and patient hearts, and that loyalty would be more attractive to the crown, but it made them easy targets. So with my family and my name gone, the kingdom I was from, a memory that was being wiped away, was my magical talents that allowed me to find some level of prosperity. So like most orphans, I took to adventuring. It's been a while since I've had to camp out on the road. He gestures around. There's certain nostalgia to it, but I think overall it's not something I'd necessarily want to return to. But eventually I was noticed by some wizards of the Empire. Cerberus Assembly had formed around that time of what was left of the mages of the Julius political scene. There were rebellions, of course, that still went on, and the Cerberus Assembly played a role in helping to find peace between what existed still of the Julius Dominion and the Empire. They were able to help bring everyone together and quell those tumultuous times. Eventually, it was discovered by some that who I was, and there was, well, old and powerful men fear easily what they've done to the past may come back to haunt them. So despite the fact that I held no power in the Empire, that I was a boy with the name of Ghosts, it was enough to scare those who made those ghosts of my family into thinking that I was a loose end that needed to be tied up. So when they came for me, I defended myself, but stood no chance, so ultimately I tried to flee. And it was, well, for a lack of a better descriptor, a hero, an adventurer, had came to my aid. They saw a young man being chased and intervened, them and their friends, and I suppose to them they were just trying to protect someone that could have been innocent. But for the men who were chasing me, it was life and death, and they lost theirs in that scuffle. Following that, I somehow was put into a position, the prestige of my house was resurrected. The enemies of those men figured that if I scared them that much, I might make a good future ally. And that was the beginning of my ascent to what would eventually lead me to where I am now. Now, those heroes who somehow, whether intentionally or not, found a way to give back a small piece of his past to a boy who had lost everything. You want to know what happened to him?
What happened?
He was put to death. Just the one, though, not all of them. He took full responsibility for killing some arrogant old men with too much money and power and fear of losing it. I had decided shortly after that to use those around me as they would hope to use me. Suffering exists in this world, and it's going to, regardless of what you do. There's no changing it. It is a fact of life and is a fact of the universe. The best we can do is protect those we can, however we can. And those who don't care about doing that aren't going to stick to rules. They aren't going to follow red tape. They are going to bend what they can. They are going to break what they can. They are going to use fire. And I understand that not everyone who wants to fight against that not to sound dismissive, but can stomach that idea. And to think that a perfect world can be made is a nice ideal to hope for, but in trying to do so, you're only serving yourself so that you can sleep better at night, and I don't begrudge anyone for it. My goal became to focus on how to do that best. My singular goal, I put aside any thoughts of a romance, of family. Those are tools that can be used against you. And suffering can come for anyone at any time. And I don't suggest that everyone should do it. Far from it. There would be little worth to protecting Exandria otherwise. But it's a choice I made. Dedicate myself to protecting the realm as best I could in the ways that others could not. And I understand that that may make me seem cold, it may make me seem distant, and it may make me seem untrustworthy. That's fine.
She chuckles. You and Zana say the same things. It may make me seem cold. I sometimes wonder why she says that so many times to me. And I hear from you now. I wonder if you... Maybe I shouldn't. I assume it's because you see me as very different from that and feel that you need to explain it.
Is that not what you came here for? Was an explanation, further insight into who I am?
Did, but I sometimes wonder when people say that may sound cold as a way to sort of remove themselves from the discomfort that being cold brings. They could dismiss it as opposed to, I don't know. She kind of shakes her head. A side tangent musing. Here's my actual question. You speak of your role, of your story, of your where you are in life as a result of other powers being more selfish, more evil, more diabolical. At what point are you just like them?
It's a question worth asking and one that I wouldn't be able to answer.
How would you feel if you were found evidence of being just like that?
I suppose I would hope that another hero like the one who saved me that day would do the world a favor.
See. And does that include Sana? As being someone who sorry, let me rephrase that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dangerous question. What about Sana? Do you see the possibility of her one day becoming someone to the point that a hero should slay her?
No.
Why?
No, Zana has only ever been within our line of work, a weapon that has been wielded.
You speak of her as an object.
In regards to how she operates as a spy or an assassin, yes.
She's not just an object.
I'm well aware of that.
I know, but
What I mean is, she doesn't make the decisions that would label someone as a villain or as a hero. She acts them out based on the information that she has.
that's your way of protecting her.
Perhaps.
Sorry, I'm thinking. Sarah's thinking of where she wants to take this. What are you all talking about over here?
We are all discussing that we are not swayed.
Yeah, I get that. I totally get that.
I think someone should tell Zental Alabaster about the Nuremberg trials and how I was just following orders does not count.
What do you see the end point for yourself or for Zana at this point? Assuming we succeed in saving the world. You were doing things before. Will you just carry on like that forever till she dies? Till someone kills you?
For myself, until my position is vacated in whatever way that ends up being. Historically, it's not happy ends for those in the Cerberus Assembly. But for Zana, no. I don't think that she will be able to continue on as she was prior to getting to know the rest of you.
Is Zana the only assassin that you've created? Or were there others before her?
I've worked with others, but no, Zana was a special case.
I see. I have to ask a rude question, Xanatal. How old are you?
Let Robbie go and see how long ago the Julius Dominion was up.
That's what I was also been like, I don't know how long ago that was.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you just through like your research, you would have probably read of it, but probably wouldn't know much of it. So let's see. It dissolved in 545, and we are in. I would be celebrating my... No. Just shy of 300 years.
If there was another way to keep this world and world safe that didn't require fear and underhanded trickery, would you take it? Would you cultivate such a change?
In this fairy tale world, Timavra, I would.
Mhm.
But the nature of man is that there will always be someone who is willing to go around, to go under, to betray trust.
It feels like the only kind of people you believe in are those who die by their honor or live to see another day by bending their morals.
Our perception is our reality.
I see. I do understand now why you do the things you do, believe in what you believe. I can understand the fear that drives someone to that. But I'm not sure if I and live with that same thing.
Consider this. Our world is on the brink of destruction. Whether you all choose to work with me or not is irrelevant. I'm going to continue the work to try and create what I can to help save it. And we would have a much better chance of doing that if we were working together. But that choice is
see.
yours.
What do things look like if we aren't working together? What does that change in your duties?
It would probably slow it. Other than that, I'm not sure. As you saw at the demonstration, I can't close them on my own. Can't open them on my own. So I suppose I hope that in the time it takes me to get there, all of you continue to succeed. And should you fall, that I'm able to figure it out before another portal opens.
Side question. More of a... Think of it as someone with a sort of small curiosity in magic. What is the potential of this cosmic magic that we've discovered?
It's difficult to say for sure. Magic as we know it already has quite a bit of potential. The magocracies of pre-calamity, such as Aeor, showed what is possible and what the hubris of mortals can achieve. From what I've seen so far, the theory that I have is that the way that we look at magic is like taking water from different sources. Salt water, fresh water, pond water, groundwater, it's all the same. We normally classify magic into the divine, the martial, and the primal. But it all comes from the same place. Unfiltered, unfettered. That's what I believe the cosmic magic is. We as mages need ways, or sorcerers or warlocks, we need ways to process it through formula, through things that make sense. Sulfur, bat guano, fire. Or through the blood of a dragon, through the focus of a god, through a devil granting you that power. For us to use it, it must be harnessed and processed in some way. Cosmic magic erodes us to use it. You have the tattoos to help. The focus bracelets that I made all of you would have further helped to harness and protect you from that, but when you try to take it and just cast it like it's normal magic, it wears on you. So what the potential is, I don't know. And whether we could figure that out would probably cost many enterprising archmages their life in the process.
Is that something you want to dedicate your life to?
I already have.
Ooh, that's a bad insight, so probably not getting much, but I'll just say it anyway. With a 13, I'm trying to, he's kind of giving me very, like, I don't know kind of answers. I was trying to see if he is trying to keep calm, but is actually more, like, excited over potential than what he's telling me.
I mean, I
But-
think, like there is, probably an underlying excitement there of, like, exploring, like, this new frontier. There's
Yeah.
no question about it that something like this is going to be, like, the magical discovery of, this age. But I think that you also are kind of reading from it, and it's kind of also common sense as well, that, like, it takes, decades, centuries, for magic and for things like this to be discovered. And even now, magic there's still theories around it and discussion, and he's been studying this for 3 months. It's still very new. And so I think, if the worry is if he's talking in a way to kind of keep you hidden from the things that, like, he really knows or not, I guess it's, it doesn't seem like it, but it's hard to know for sure.
Yeah, I'm not getting direct evidence of it, but...
Mhm.
Okay. She will nod. And, trying to think if she would say...
Sorry, also I misspoke, not martial, arcane. Arcane, divine, and primal.
Yeah. I knew what you were talking of, I just wasn't thinking of the words. Trying to think if she would say this. You care about Zana?
I do.
Do you love her?
I think that word means different things to different people. I'd like to say yes, but I know that is going to draw concerns or questioning looks from you.
She shakes her head. Do you no, but do you believe that she knows that you love her?
I don't think so.
Do you want her to?
Make a persuasion roll for me.
Aw,
I've let you get pretty far with no rolls.
Shut up! I get advantage, but it's only a +1. That's a 15. That's pretty good for a +1 and with advantage.
Mhm.
But it's not probably enough. That's okay.
He goes quiet for a moment.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do and what we're trying to succeed at, it is irrelevant.
Clearly not when you gave her that gift.
A momentary lapse in judgment. I should have just had someone deliver it.
You still wanted to give her a gift. Whether I knew it or she knew it. Is he just quiet?
Yeah, he's just kind of staring at you like, all right, fine, you got one. What now? Doesn't really
Got
have,
it.
Doesn't really have a
Got
good
it.
answer.
This is where he gets it from Zana,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
That's where Zana gets
Corey
it from.
pops in. Got him!
She just nods. I just think even if this path that you were on and that she is on end up being the right one, I think that life is still too short to not be upfront and honest about what we want, even if we can't have it. But I am centuries younger than you, so I understand if that maybe sounds naive, but I will take naive of that principle over anything else, I suppose. And she smiles. And unless he's going to say something else, she will take one last sip and she will go, thank you for the chat. I will leave you alone for the night.
He nods and walks you over to the door. Give me one final persuasion check.
Okay. Hold on. All right, let's see how low this rolls. Okay, it's a 12. Oh, wait, can I channel Corey? I'm so sorry.
So I would say that
If not, that's okay.
this is more of what kind of an effect will this conversation, and specifically those last lines at the end there, have.
Yeah.
Whereas
I can also
channeling,
add inspo to it.
whereas channeling someone is like a thing like, I need this person's talents in what I'm about to do. If you would like to add raw inspo onto it to boost it, you may.
Okay. A decent amount of inspo. Got what, 24? Yeah, I can burn 8. Let's burn 8. We're going to make it a standard 20.
Okay. So as you get back over to the door, thank you for the chat, Timavra. It was interesting.
I've heard that one before. She'll, thank you as well. It was enlightening. She'll nod, and she will leave.
And as he shuts the door, that's where we will wrap up tonight's session.